Welcome to SK1 News. So I'm assuming this is episode 4. Um, welcome back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot going on, y'all. It's been a lot. Just keep my wife in y'all prayers. It ain't been easy. It ain't been an easy definitely month going on. It's definitely a month. But you know, always believe you can win a fight out of anything that you're fighting. And I will be talking about more health stuff on here this as well too. But today I'm gonna be sharing about the privacy in your own home, in your own room, or wherever you at in your home. This been stuff that I've been talking about since I've been talking about it on here. Well, I'm gonna share a little something with y'all today about this issue because it's crazy how this particular thing is still going on, and it's gonna go on as long as we got these smart TVs and stuff like that. So, this might get a little leg in the video. It's just this been crazy. So you may get a little leg. But we gonna get through this the best way we can, y'all. We don't give in easy.
Fast. Guys, your TV is spying on you, not in theory, in reality. Every few seconds, it takes a tiny screenshot of what you are watching, even if it is VHA tape, even if it's a content from your USB stick. It watches you watching him. And this has happened over a decade. Most people have no idea. Stick around because I'm going to show you what's really going on and how to fight back. Guys, I'm Adam. Welcome to the Hardwin 82 channel. And if you like crazy, scary stories, don't go anywhere. What is ACR and how does it work? ACR, Automated Content Recognition, also known under different names, depends from the brand. For example, viewing information services on LG TV, Samba Interactive TV or Sync Plus in Samsung, Live Plus on older models, View Data or Smart Interactivity on Viso, and sometimes simply Interactivity or ICR under Sony settings. It's a technology embedded in many smart TVs today. It captures low-resolution screenshots every 10-50 seconds and sends them to the cloud. These tiny 100 to 100 pixels images are enough to identify movies, online videos, even game interfaces. So what's the goal? To track your behavior and sell it to advertisers, streaming platforms, even data brokers. It doesn't really matter how you watch TV. Is it normal content, HDMI, internet with all those built apps? Doesn't matter. The TV still watches you. This system has been embedded in many TVs since around 2014, especially in models from popular brands. Companies like Samba TV and Inkscape are behind this technology. And yes, there have been lawsuits for collecting data without clear consent. Can we sign out from this madness? In theory. In theory, you can go into the settings and opt out. In practice, these options often re-enable themselves after some kind of firmware updates, or they are simply buried in terms and conditions during the setup. And most people just click accept without proper reading. Even a factory reset isn't enough unless you manually blocked or decline everything. So what you exactly can do to stop it? Here's my favorite method. Treat your TV like a suspicious guest. Set up a guest Wi-Fi network for the TV. That way it's isolated from the rest of your home. Then use your router's parental control to monitor what the TV tries to connect to. Block anything suspicious. I actually made a video on how to block ads using this way. The link will be provided. The same method works beautifully against ACR traffic. But I wish it could be so simple. Smart TVs can get really sneaky. If DNS is blocked, they might switch to fallback DNS using DNS over HTTPC, or try to disguise data as a normal secure traffic. That's why advanced users go a step further. So I was looking into that subject, and I think you have 3 different options. Option number 1, you need a device like a Raspberry Pi with special software. I recommend AdGuard Home. So this device acts like a small cheap computer that filters DNS for your entire home. You will need to install special OS, set a static IPs, and point your network to it. Option 2, buy a mini computer like Intel NUC or other mini PC. It has more power, can run Pi-hole, AdGuard, or even firewall systems like pfSense. Option number 3, you need a special router with OpenWRT firmware. You flash it, install filtering packages, and manage traffic directly from the gateway. All of this lets you inspect and block every domain that TVs connects to. So what's the best solution? If you ask me, the best solution is make your telly dumb again. Not great again, dumb again. What I mean by that, don't connect to the internet at all. Use it purely as a display, nothing more. From that point, connect your telly with a PC or a laptop via HDMI cable, and you have much better control. So, my proposition is this: stop using your smart telly to watch content online. Use this new computer you just built. Idea is simple. You will connect this PC directly to your telly via HDMI cable. Computer is connected to internet. That depends from you. You could use Wi-Fi card. I use the Wi-Fi card, but you could use cable as well. And start watching content through internet browser. Just install a browser like Brave, maybe also extension uBlock Origin, and start watching whatever you want from there. Again, I made a similar video about that, and the link will be provided again. I think this is the best method at the moment, because even if you manage to do what I just told you, those companies are very smart and they are changing everything on the go. So depends when you watch this video. My recommendations might be not accurate anymore, but if you use your telly as a just simply display, this will work. Smart tellies are getting more intelligent, but not for you, for the corporations. If you value your privacy, don't rely on settings. They are not built for you, they are built for them. If you found this useful, drop a like, leave a comment, and share it. It helps fight the algorithm. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more deep dives into digital privacy. Guys, if you want to ask me some questions about this topic, please leave the comment, and I will make a part 2 of this subject.
Yeah. So basically, you know, I mean, I heard them on, you know, connecting your TV to your desktop or whatever and turning it back into a dumb TV. But my personal opinion, you know, your IP address track anything. Your privacy is not privacy when you're using an internet service that definitely run off of an IP address. And if you're not protected on any device, yes, you will be exposed to the outside world, and anything that got a red light or a sensor on there can be a camera built into the device. You wouldn't know it's a camera watching you. You don't know anything that's watching you. Even when you hook a camera to your device, that's opening up, doors for things to be what it is. But I do agree with, your TV is spying on you, and I've been saying this for a long time now. Your TV is there. You figure out this, like, out of so many years, you wanted to form your, cell phone into your TV and watch anything that's on YouTube, Netflix, anything. And you always wanted to see it on the big screen. So it was a time you would use your game system as your way to watch something that you will watch on your phone, but your game system at one time was controlled like a DVD player or something like that. Until they start making Blu-rays. When they start making Blu-rays, then they start making devices like game systems a little smart. That's the only way you will see, well, one of the ways you will see anything from your phone onto your TV before your phone became a smartphone. But back in the day, when you didn't want to use any of that, you could use your TV as a monitor. And I used to say this a lot. I used to say this, even before your TV became smart, to get rid of cable, you would cut your cable and use your TV as your monitor. Just connect your desktop or laptop or whatever you had around that time, and anything that you was watching on the internet you could see onto your TV, but you using your TV as a monitor, and you hooking up either surround sound or some kind of speakers to make your TV really, or you could just use the speakers from your TV. And that was one of the things, I just watched how technology just advanced into what it advanced into now. Now we got everything in a palm of our hand. We can click, instead of clicking a mouse, you could click your remote. And now you don't really got to use your remote. Everything is hand free now. Everything, like, you can use Google, you can use Alexa, you can use Siri, you can use any one of them devices that got, hands free options to use. So I'm saying that to say this, you don't necessarily have to use a smart TV for what the smart TV provides you to use it with. Yes, you're right. You can still go the old route. You can still do anything that you would do. You would just have to disconnect the internet from your TV and use better security for your devices that you're using onto that TV. But no, even when you do that, just like when you cut your TV off, your TV still watching. I don't care what they say. If it's a smart TV, it's still watching. You know what I mean? It's still watching. I don't care if you. The best thing to do is to cover that sensor up or cover that remote little thing up on your TV. Just cover that up. Just put something over it. That's my thing. That's that's what I tell you. You know, I wouldn't even tell you to disconnect the internet. Just cover that up. Your remote gonna still sense the turn and do all that stuff, even with that blocking on the TV. You can still be able to use your remote. But I'm gonna tell you this: when nobody be watching you, now I didn't heard that your TV could screenshot whatever you got on there and connect your data like that. Now you know well now if you don't want your data collected, then I'll advise you to disconnect the network. You know what I'm saying? Because your data will get collected. I don't care what device you're using. Your data get connected on your cell phone. You know what I'm saying? Your cell phone will disconnect. Will collect your data quick, quick. You know, so um, just be mindful that these devices they are set up for one thing. You know, and they say it helped you the security in your house and something like that. Something go to happen, but who really checking for that? You know how many times something happened and can't nobody identify what happened, you know, but they know what happened because they seen what happened, you know. I just say this, you know, you just gotta be careful on everything that you're doing, you know. Give me a second, I'll be back with my next part of this um show. Back to SK1 News. Alright, y'all. Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, you know, back in 98, 99, 2000, all the way up until, you know, Dipset stopped being Dipset for a little while. I've been rolling with Jim Jones, and still till this day, I'm still rocking with the Dips. I don't care if him and Cam ain't speaking. I don't care if, you know, Santana, the Dale, the Mall said he ain't banging. Freaky Zeke said he ain't banging with the Dips. I don't care. I still roll with them. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't nothing to attack Jimmy, but this is something to speak out on Jimmy. You know what I mean? This is something to, you know, Jimmy need to come down to reality. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the early 90s, I remember Nas music. I was a little young. Probably was like 12 years old, 13 when I first really, you know, heard Nas music. And you know what I'm saying? I wasn't big on Nas like I was AZ. You know what I'm saying? AZ, you know, a much better rapper than me. You know what I'm saying? A much better rapper. And he's a much better lyricist too. He just don't get the respect that, you know, Nas get. You know what I'm saying? You know, he too underrated for me, AZ, and Nas is I'm not even gonna say overrated. I'm gonna give Nas his flowers while Nas still here. Nas is one of the best rappers that ever touched the mic. Nas is the definition of what hip hop, you know, started as, you know, respecting the pioneers before him, you know, and he is before me, so I respect him, you know what I'm saying, as a hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy basically, you know, him and Cam really, you know, started the wave in my generation, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I can't sit up here and listen to Jimmy saying that he better than Nas. Yo, no, Jimmy. No. I can't sit up here and hear you just respect Nas like that, yo. You know, um, you would have to be another rapper than me or another hip hop lyricist than me to just respect Nas, you know. And I don't care about how many hit songs you got. I don't care about how much money you got. I don't care about if you still popping today, because that's what most of these youngins think that, oh, what's more relevant right now. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can't say that Nas is not irrelevant. Nas is still irrelevant. Nas is still putting out music. You know, some of y'all wouldn't even understand the music Nas putting out. You know, you gotta be a real hip hop head to understand what Nas putting out. You know, and he's still being Nas. Nas haven't switched. Nas haven't, you know, changed anything about Nas. Jimmy, I can't say the same for you. You know, I didn't watch from when you first started off with Diplomats. You know, I didn't seen your growth. You know, I didn't, you know, watch when, you know, Cam had you, and you was Jones. You was a hype man, Doug. You was. Don't even sit up there and lie like you wasn't a hype man, man. You was Cameron hype man, man, for real, on real talk, you know. And like I said, this ain't out in the badge Jones. It's just pointing out, you know, the beginning of Jim Jones. Like the beginning of Jim Jones was Cam hype man. You know what I mean? And wasn't nothing wrong with that. Santana was one of the best that did it in Dipset. Outside of Cameron, Santana was one of the best that did it in Dipset. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing how Jimmy, you know, became a solo artist that he sold records. But let's not forget, you know, Stag Bungles, you know what I'm saying? God rush his soul, you know what I'm saying? Stag Bungles, God rush his soul. Let's not forget Max B, free Max B, get Max B out of jail, y'all. You know, get Max B out. Let's not forget Max B broke some of your top hit songs that was on the radio. You know, Max B really wrote some of your top hit songs that was on the radio. So you want to talk about hit songs and stuff like that? Let's not take the writers out. You know what I'm saying? Let's not take the writers out. You know, and speaking of writers, J.R. Writer was like one of the hardest that ever did it on Dipset. J.R. Writer, boy, that dude I'd have heard on freestyle Hell Row. I'd have heard Hell Row freestyle. Hell Row killing it. You know, you wasn't even better than them, Jimmy. Truth be told, you know, you wasn't even better than them names out this name and 40 cows. You know, and I'm not trying to put, you know, team against team or whatever. I'm just saying, like, you had people on your team that you and Cam and y'all put out that can run circles around you in a freestyle battle if they wanted to. You know, we could talk about A Mafia. A Mafia was one of the other dudes that was killing it. You know, them dudes from SAS. We can go down the list. We can them dudes from London. You know, Cam itself. Come on, Jimmy. Come on. You know Cam got it. You know, but like I said, I'm not putting you against. I'm just saying, like, you coming for Nas for what? You know, you coming for Nas because you feel like, oh, you was on an interview. He was on Shannon Sharp interview, and you know you got asked that question, and I get it. I get, you know, as a MC, as a rapper, you want to be better than everybody, and that's I give you that. You know, that's what you do as an artist. You be better than somebody else. That's hands down. You know, we know this. We know this. But yo, come on, man. Come on. You're not all the way up in that top 10 list. If you made somebody top 10 list, you better hope you made somebody top 10 list. Yeah, these 20 something year old, 18, 19 something year old, probably even early 30s. You know, I don't know if they, you know, but yeah. But, you know, you probably got them on your side. But I'm trying to tell you now, man, people that watch you from day one. People that was rolling with Cam and them from day one before Cam and them even went over the Rough Rider when Cam was with Unruckets. Unentertainment. You know, when Cam was over there when Cam was with the Children of the Corn. Everybody that been rocking with Cam for a long time, man, we know. Like, yeah. I'm just saying, man. I just had to speak on that because I ain't hearing that one. I'm gonna go ahead and share a clip. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is crazy, yo. Jimmy need to chill. Jimmy need to take a chill pill. He really need to take a chill pill, like for real.
Nas wasted no time in firing back at Jim Jones after his attempt to clown Nas completely backfired. So the whole convo of Nas versus Jim Jones came about after Jim popped up on the Joe and Jada podcast, talking real bold. Jim said he used to be a super Nas fan, but now he thinks his own catalog, his Billboard run, and his relevance with the younger crowd outshines Nas completely.
If you want to go to the Billboard entries, pull up Nas Billboard entries. He's your son.
No, but he knows.
My son can't tell you one Nas record.
And social media lost it to the point where the whole hip-hop culture tuned into the book and jumped in to defend Nas's name. But anyhow, if you think about the fact that the entire Jim Jones versus Nas scenario back to thanks to a snap from the Don't Quote Me podcast. 20-year-old students from New Jersey claim Jim Jones had more influence on his generation than Nas. It made waves across social media and reignited the generational debate in hip-hop. This is what was said during the session.
Pop Champagne, Summer in Miami. That's a classic.
If I Rule the World. How is that comparable to those songs you just said?
I'm 22. Every Nas song that my man's MJ played, we said we heard that from what, Dub?
2K.
2K. Those songs are in the video game.
Okay.
I have never in my life said at a party, yo, throwing that Nas right now. If you did top 3 influential people regarding dressing.
And that right there made Jim respond on the Joe and Jada podcast. He was fair though, and he said that he himself once idolized Nas, but over time carved out his own lane. So now we're here again, and the Nas versus Jim Jones beef is well and truly alive. But this ain't their first clash. If you've been outside long enough, you remember 2000 when rolling with Jay-Z and Rockefeller during that peak Nas versus Hob era. It wasn't long before Jim Jones stepped into the crossfire, and what started as admiration turned to rivalry real quick. Jones was out here saying wild stuff in interviews like, Nas, you fuck your ass. He just lost his pizzazz. While Nas was brushing dudes like Jim off without ever getting his dirty. No track, name drops, subtle flexes that made you not in back in 2005. Speak for him. Jim Jones even is.
He's like a Jim Jones, like, I mean, I was getting your money.
That energy never. Fast forward, and Jim's back, same angle. And before he doubled Shannon Sharp's But Nightcap podcast and pressed him by if he's really a better than Nas, Jim didn't back down one bit. He said he would run circles around Nas.
I run circles around Nas rapping right. I will run circles around Nas rapping right.
That set it off. Shannon threw some shade at saying that his biggest
Hey, the biggest podcast you ever been on. The biggest podcast you ever been on.
For Nas doesn't want to give drama any attention or work. Jones wants. Nas been dropped doing soul and collaborating for the past few years. The work speaks louder than any clapback, and that silence is his clapback. For anyone who knows the culture, staying silent while Jim talks himself into circles is the legacy talking.
Mary has been keeping quiet for years, but now she's finally setting the record on rumors that Beyonce blackballed her after stealing her sound. In a new interview with Joe Rogan, Mary opened up about Beyonce comparison. And while she did accuse her, the talked about her career struggles has people putting 2 and 2 together.
What were your feelings when ended up giving Beyonce that song that they said that she wanted to talk about?
So the big debate has always been around the similarities between Amerie's hit One Thing and Beyonce's Crazy in Love. And for years, rumors have been floating that producer Rich Harrison originally made Crazy in Love for Amerie, but Jay-Z somehow snatched it for Beyonce. Now, Amerie's never been one to throw shade publicly, and on Joe Rogan's show, she said she doesn't know if that story is true. The similarity she chalked to the fact that both tracks were produced by Rich Harrison.
Yeah, I didn't hear all these stories.
No, I've heard everything. Are you shitting me?
Okay.
Of
No,
course
girl,
you
I
heard
didn't.
stories.
I did really that particular song. No, I didn't hear it. Like I didn't hear anything. But a lot of people would be like, "Wait, but that's not your record. Why did he give that record to you?" And I'm like, he never played that record for me. I mean, it's like we did the first album, right? And after the first album came out, it made a lot of noise, and people really loved that album.
However, Amerie did admit that Jay-Z loved her debut album, which some fans took as confirmation that Jay stole Amerie's sound for Beyonce.
And Jay loved the album too. Like Jay-Z loved the first
on
album.
hold.
But here's why some fans think Amerie's being way too nice and not telling the whole story. Amerie, around the same time, was trying to make it after Destiny's Child, and yet it's hard to believe and say, but it really wasn't all easy for her to go solo, and she really needed a hit to break through. That hit turned out that Crazy in Love featuring, before people started noticing how both the song and the video for Crazy in Love had some serious similarities to Thing and Crazy in Love were co-written and produced by Rich Harrison, so some similarities were expected. But here's where it messed up. According to several insiders, remix of Thing, and she alleged Harris. After Aaliyah passed, there was an open big and Beyonce was determined to claim it and remove all competition. And according to Jaguar, that's Jay-Z stole Rich Harrison from Amerie. Now, whether the story is true or not, it was enough for Amerie to walk away from the music industry. She realized that to you have to step on others, and she wasn't desperate for fame like some of her competitors. Amerie is smart and well knew she didn't need music to be successful. So after leaving behind, she put her into work and focused on writing. In 2018, she was a best-selling author with the book Because You Love to Hate Me, and later started her own book club. Opened up about all in a Ron Hall. She talked about found success and fulfillment outside of music. Mary said she got into it. That as in the expectation, it had nothing to do with the art.
You know, it's so many artists, and you a lot of artists of advertisement, magazines, and they have men don't have, but make a lot of the decisions in the industry are men. It's not necessarily a bad place, but when people come in with what they expect of women, very much like singing like I told you, do it.
Yeah, singing like I told you.
And so when you write your own music and you have your own vision, I think it can be a little jarring for some people. And for me, I never went into it to do the stuff. Actually, that was the stuff I just was like, to do this in order to create.
Okay. Still, Mary made it clear that she has no regrets about walking away from the industry.
All right, y'all. So, yeah, that little old thing with Jimmy, you know what I'm saying? Capo, chill out, man. Chill out, yo. Anyway, yeah, you know that whole thing with Amerie and Beyonce, that been going on for years, y'all. I mean, see, I'm gonna tell y'all the difference between Amerie and Beyonce. Amerie write her own music. Yeah, she writes her own music. So I think she got more ways of saying that her, you know, certain styles and stuff like that. Styles, but you know, she don't make beats. So if somebody done a beat and you know they producing that beat and they want you to rock to this beat. At the time, J-Lo, Beyonce, and Amerie had similar styles. Now, if Jay did take the idea and do it at B, you know what I'm saying? Smart move. Smart move. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometime in that game, it's a dirty game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta catch it before it catch you. You know, A. Marie didn't stand out the, you know, start the trend. It's whoever start the trend. But I remember I did see A. Marie, one of her videos before I seen Beyonce. I do remember that I stated this. I said, boy, Beyonce video look like one of A. Marie videos. But you know, at the time, I ain't know who started the trend. I thought that was just a new name for real. Like, yeah, I thought this was something like, oh, this what they doing now, you know? Because a lot of artists bite off a lot of artists. So I'm just looking at it like I didn't know it was a real big thing. I just thought that, you know, hey, I mean, this must be the new thing that they doing now, you know? And you know, you see it plenty of time in the game. You know, artists bite off of artists. You know, certain things you can't steal, but certain things, you know, you can get away with. And Beyonce got away with it for years. You know, I think that's what shut A. Marie up fully. No, I don't think that's what shut her up fully. But I do think them beehives attacked her. You know what I mean? I do think they did that. But A. Marie was doing good. You know, she had a own little book deal. You know, she was doing this book thing. You know, she kept herself relevant. She kept her name going. You know, she just laid back off the music. Now, 20 years later, you know, what was it, 2005, 2006, 2007? You know what I'm saying? Now, years later, she back. She back. You know, sometimes you gotta take a long break from the game. You just gotta take a long break. You come back with something. You know, she probably been working on projects, and we don't even know the project. She probably was writing the whole time. You know, finding her new way of how she want to do the music. You know, I mean, but you know, big up to both Beyonce and A. Marie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, y'all kicked through the doors with the music. So, you know, continue on making the music. You know, and you know, it's a lot of room in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of room in the game to go back and forth with each other. You know, life is too short. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see more succeed and more, you know, go on. You know, now, can we say somebody overrated? I don't know. I'll let y'all judge that. You know what I'm saying? I'll let y'all judge that. Cause on Beehives, boy, you say Beyonce overrated, boy. They crazy. You know what I'm saying? They crazy. But I do think it's better singers than Beyonce out there. I'm gonna say that. I know a lot of singers that will match Beyonce. Beyonce voice ain't all that great, boy. I know some great singers that will match Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? But people so caught up in this pop world that they looking at her as a pop singer or, you know, her performance and stuff like that. You gotta do more than perform. I'm gonna tell you that. You gotta do more than perform. You gotta sing your tail off. And Beyonce ain't hitting them notes. Not them kind of notes. Not the kind of notes I done heard already. I done heard some notes. You know what I'm saying? I done heard Ashanti hit some notes. And her notes, boy, yeah, Ashanti a singer. She just gotta show it a little bit more. But she ain't messing with no Jennifer Hudson. You ain't messing with no Jennifer Hudson, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. Beyonce ain't messing with no Jennifer Hudson. And don't sleep on Tamar. Tamar got that voice. Tamar just gotta keep her nose out of everything everybody doing. Keep quiet, shut up, and just do music. That's all Tamar gotta do. But Tamar keep her mouth in a lot of stuff and get caught up in a lot of stuff. Focus on your music. You know, Tamar actually got you know, I ain't gonna say Tamar better than Tony and singing, but Tamar got a little strength of a voice than Tony got. You know, Tony just a superstar. Tamar is Tamar is better, period. You know, that's why I say we can argue all day. Who better, Jim Jones or Nas, Beyonce or whoever else we put up against her? You know, we got some people that will definitely beat Beyonce in singing. Definitely, you know. But see, today's world ain't like yesterday world. Yesterday world, we wouldn't even be having this conversation about no daggone Beyonce. You know, back in the day, man, we had some good singers and all of them got the respect. You know, now these days it's all about Beyonce. About Beyonce. Back in the day, it wouldn't have been about one person. You know? I don't know. I'm just here. I think I'm completed with this episode. Beware of your TVs though. Beware. You know, beware. Stay well. And, you know, don't let nobody ruin on y'all, you know, and look at y'all and stuff like that. That's just crazy. You know, I don't even like get dressed in front of my TV. I do all that stuff in the bathroom. I ain't got time for no TV to look at me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for none of that. I will be back with another episode. Sorry it took me so long. But like I said, you know, it's been a lot going on. And my new show is on hold right now, as this show was. The SK1 show is on hold. You know what I mean? I haven't done anything on the SK1 show. You know, I started the SK1 news before I got back to the SK1. You know, the last thing I did on the SK1 show was what I do? I was talking about Live in Iraq. That was the last thing, and it's over on YouTube. And that was like the beginning of December. I didn't even do a wrap up for that. But you know, this Nas and Jim Jones, I would have been talking about over there on For Real, but you know, I just went on and shared it over here. You know, it still is news. You know, I was getting ready to talk about that daggone Jasmine Crockett, boy. I don't know how they made her a congressperson, man. I really don't, man. That mouth on her, man, is, oh my God, man. I don't know what's going on with today's world, and they love her. They love her. You know, and now I think she talking about she want to run for president in 2028. Lord, don't do it. Don't do it. You gonna pick a woman to be president, pick the right woman to be. Yeah, pick a woman that's right. I don't care what race, whatever. You gonna pick a woman, pick the right woman to be the president. You know, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it with Jasmine. I'm telling you, you'll be in a world of trouble. You know, that's how you know you running out of presidents if you make Jasmine Crockett the president. You know what I mean? And she just and look, she's supposed to represent women. Don't all women act like that? Talking ghetto, this is all day. Like, don't all women act like that? She's supposed to be representing for the women. Come on, man. There's women that got respect for themselves. You know what I mean? This is, oh my God. Oh my God, man. Like, they gonna put us back into slavery. What? You know, I'm tired of picking cotton. When you pick some cotton, you know what I mean? You ain't pick no cotton. You picking cotton, I need to know where you picking it at, because I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. Jasmine. But yeah, people just better just, see what's going on. I mean, the world would be a better place if you don't make her president. I hope, and then if she be the president, I'ma run. I'ma run for president. I'ma tell you that if Jasmine Crockett can become the president, I'ma run for the president. Cause that lets you know they just letting any old body in. Real talk. Real talk. Telling y'all. Real talk. Talking about Jasmine. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? It was good coming back for the first time in months. Had to get moving situated, and me and the wife, we moved. You know what I'm saying? So that like slowed us down, and then what's going on with her now? You know what I mean? That really slowed us down. Getting back to things, but the next time I come back on here, I don't know when, but I did give an up-to-date show. I don't know about better equipment. We'll see about how that goes, since they want us to do things in radio form. But it is the weekend. I'm happy that it's the weekend. I will air this show on Monday morning, though. Yeah. Yep, I will air this show on Monday morning. I was gonna do it today, but I gotta do some editing, and I gotta get back to the wife. She, I try not to be on too long, so I gotta go and tend to her. While she sleep, I'm on, but I gotta go back. 30-minute work day. Well, working on this show won't be 30 minutes. Like I said, I gotta do a lot of editing. But whatever. I'm here. Y'all enjoy. And leave a comment. Share this. Get it around to as many people as you can get it around to. Hit them like buttons, because it's gonna be on YouTube. But this is a Spotify show, but it's gonna be on YouTube. Yeah. I'm slowly getting back there, y'all. I'm slow. Look. This ain't it. So, leave a comment of what you think about your TV spying on you. Why your TV. I might do a Q&A. Yeah, so you can leave it in the Q&A. Comment or Q&A. Podcast Q&A. YouTube comment. Comment. What do you think about your TV spying on you? Should your TV be spying on you? No, it shouldn't be spying on you, but I need your answer. And is Nas better than Jim Jones, or is Jim Jones better than Nas, a better rapper? I hope I get the right answer with that one, because I don't, I wouldn't understand you if you tell me that Nas is not better than Jim Jones. I wouldn't understand that one, and I'll look at you like you a Gen Z or something like that. Nah, disrespect to the Gen Zs, but anyway, what I'm getting ready to say. And what do y'all think about Beyonce and A-Marie? You know what I'm saying? Do you think Beyonce fans of the Beehive ran A-Marie away? Or do you think A-Marie just took a break from the music industry? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that Beyonce stole A-Marie's style? Leave that in a comment or in the Q&A. Either one. I will leave some links in the description. I haven't put nothing up in the merch store in a while. And that's another thing that I'm gonna work back on. SK1 brand is still going though. You know, we going strong. You know, we making it happen. We making it happen. I haven't updated my website in a while. I will update it in a while, but you still can go and find old episodes. I gotta update some episodes though that I didn't put over there. But if y'all follow me on Spotify, y'all really don't need to go on the website for the SK1 show, but y'all can go over to the old shows that was created, or y'all can check out a lot of other stuff that I got going on over on that website. But I haven't been on my website in almost some months now, really doing any update thing. I just checked it the other day, but that was just a check. You know what I'm saying? I sent somebody a website link to the website, and I may be working with new people this year. Like I said, the new show is on hold. You know, we didn't get a chance to start it, and that's because of circumstances. But it will get started. And I want to do it while these TV shows still available and on, and new movies or movies that I still want to do it. So yeah, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? All my information will be right there on your screen, or it will be in my it'll be in my description. Whatever. Alright, see y'all when I come back.